Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back. We are here for another virtual world of math here at Bethune. I am Mrs. Levine, and I will be teaching for Mrs. Anderson and Mrs. E as well during this lesson. We're on week 6, day 2, part 1. iReady lesson 26, displaying data in a line plot, pages 274 to 277. You're going to complete pages 278 to 279 on your own. Your standard for today is MGSE3.MD.4. You're going to generate measurement data by using rulers. Mark with halves and fourths of an inch. Show the data making a line plot where the horizontal scale is marked off in appropriate units, whole numbers, halves, and quarters. Your learning target today: use a ruler to measure whole, half, and quarter inches. Record measurement data using whole, half, and quarter inches. Make a line plot horizontal scale marked off in whole number, half, or quarter units. Want you to know their vocabulary words can be found here. They have been recorded in the first lesson in the part 1 and part 2, and now you're in your day 2 lesson, so you can definitely go back and utilize those as much as you need to help you understand this lesson. Today we're going to be doing that line plot and making sure you know that is a way to record data on a number line. Okay, let's jump right over here and see how we're going to display some of the data on a line plot. And we're going to read the problem below. Then we're going to explore the different ways to display the data. Okay, so here's the question. Brian recorded the lengths of an earthworm in his table, and he wants to make a line plot of measurements. What will Brian's line plot look like? So here you have the title of the graph, earthworm lengths, and then it's all about earthworm, and each earthworm is from letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we have that many earthworms, and they tell you the different lengths of each earthworm. When we're doing this, we're going to have to keep in mind that the units here are going to be used in the scale, and it depends on the data. So the scale here, we're going to be going from least to greatest, and make sure that we understand we are measuring this in a fraction standpoint. The earthworms are measured to the nearest fourth inch, so the scale is 1/4 inch. So you have your scale, your number line down here in 4 parts: 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And down below it's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. Then you have a whole, 1/4, half, 3/4, and another whole, 1/4. See the fourth? Half, 3/4, and another whole of 3. So we're going to find out the shortest earthworm, they say, is 1 inch and 1/4. The longest earthworm is 2 inches and 3/4. So they measure. They're all different measurements on here, but we're going to line plot them and see where, which ones are how many we have of the same measurements and how many we have of different ones. Okay, so you can use the model to help you display the data, and it says the table shows how many earthworms there are on each length. So each X, mind you, here's the key, and it's important that we understand our key. Each X stands for 1 earthworm. Okay, so remember that when we're recording our data. So it said let's find 1 1/4 on our line plot. Here's 1 inch and 1 1/4. And up here, I'm going to go up a little more so we can see that. So we have, let's check out the leaves. 1. So 1 1/4. I don't see any more here. So they put an X for 1 1/4. Okay. The next one they want to record is 1 1/2. So let's find out. Here's 1 1/2. That's 1 there. Do you see 1 there? No, 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 no. Here's another one. So they put 2 X's there. Okay. So that means there's 2 earthworms at that same length. of 1 1/2 right here. So let's record and find out how many earthworms there are of 1 3/4. And if we look up here, hello, there's 1, and I don't see any more, so they put 1x. Let's go back up to the top and find out how many measure at 2 inches. And I only see 1, so they put 1x there. Now check this out, 2 inches and 1/4. Do you see any 2 inches and 1/4 of the earthworms being measured at that length? No, so the box is left blank. Okay, so next we have 2 inches. Let's see how many earthworms were 2 inches and 1/2. So that's 1 there, and another one. Aha, so it's 2 X's. Okay, so that stands for 2 earthworms. And let's find out which one is 2 3/4. How many? So up here above, it says it's only 1. So that's 2 3/4. So we put 1x there. Okay. So now that we have that recorded, let's take a glance at it. You might have to scroll back up. Now you're going to solve the problems using the previous information on this page, and use the data in the table to help you complete the line plot. So complete the scale on the line plot number line. Use a scale of 1/4. So down here, the lengths of the earthworm measure, and then you have a line plot, and that's blank for you to plug in. Okay. So what I did was I kind of created one on a whiteboard. Yesterday I tried to use my little backdrop, but I don't think it was too clear. So we're going to try it this way. But I made a number line, and I put scales with 4 parts. So 1/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, in between the 0 and the 1 mark there. Okay. So we're going to line plot our earthworms here. The first question says, how many worms did Brian measure? So we're going to have to definitely pull back and count and add and put that there. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should have 8 there as your answer. Okay. Next question says, there will be an X on the line plot for each earthworm. If 2 or more earthworms are the same length, the X will be drawn one above the other. How many X's will be on the line plot? Well, we can count above here. Once again, you should have the same answer because we just counted the X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what you should have plugged in for question 11. How many earthworms are 1 1/4 inch long? Draw an X above that. So you're just going to take that. Let's find it here. Draw your X. I'll label it. Yours should look on your paper something like this. If you can see what I've done, an X, and I've labeled it 1/4. Don't talk about my chicken scratch. Okay. How many worms are 1 1/2 inches long? So we go back up. Check out what we put in here, and then we put 2 X's there, right? Uh-oh, don't want to go back down that far. We put 2 X's there. So your answer simply will be 2 X's in the 1 1/2. 1, 2, and I'm going to put 1/2 there. That's what yours should look like as well. Okay. Complete the line plot. Make sure to draw an X for each earthworm measurement. Explain what each X on the line plot stands for. Remember to go back to your key. Go ahead and complete it. Your X's should be drawn. Is this upside? No. Your X's should be drawn going all the way to the top, or however many you need to plug in. Excuse me. And then be sure to explain that. Use what you just learned to solve this problem. Draw your line plots on a separate sheet of paper. So you can go back and, of course, again, use this paper as I have a whiteboard, but you can go back, draw your line plot out. Make sure that you understand on your line plots when you look at your measurements, if it's a fourth, you need to make sure that your line plots are plotted out into four spaces in between each inch. Your fractional 1/4, half, 3/4, and then your whole number. So this one here goes all the way to 6 inches. So your line plot is going to go all the way from 0, and it's going to be all the way to 6 inches there. Make sure that we stopped on this one with 3 inches. Okay, so you're going to go all the way to 6 inches when you create your own. Okay. So you guys are going to complete this here, plotting data on line plots, and you're going to go through and use the examples that we used earlier to create this. In science, I'm just going to read this question. In science club, Lily measured the length of dragonfly wings, and she made a line plot of her data shown below. Then she found one more dragonfly. So measure the wing like they did here, and to the nearest 1/4. Again, they'll show you a ruler, 1, 2, 3, 4 with 4 parts, and they plot it down below. It says add the last measurement to Lily's line plot. Which wing length appears most often on the line plot? Okay, so look at how you could show your work using Lily's line plot. So back to that, if you were adding Lily's new measurement, and she measured this first wing at 1 1/4, that's what she would be adding if you added a fourth to it. Add the last measurement to Lily's line plot. Which wing length appears the most on the line plot? Look at how you could show your work using Lily's line plot. So if we added there, we have more. The solution would be 1 1/4. 1/4. Use the line plot in the example above. How many dragonfly wings are shorter than 1 inch? You're going to go back up there and count. 1, X, 2, and 3. There's 3 of them that are shorter than 1 inch. Okay. So basically what you're going to do is read each question, and you're going to complete these here on your own. I'd say get you some scratch paper and get ready to write it out. If you need additional support and help with your organization and organizing the way that you put together your line plots, that would be great to have. I look forward to seeing all of your answers and line plotting results. Happy learning. Also, don't forget to complete your exit ticket. You will have an exit ticket for this lesson recorded in the space where you can find information.